There is a unique silence to feeling lost. It is not an empty void. It is a quiet, heavy presence. It's the feeling of waking up in the middle of your own life as if you were a guest in a stranger's house. You look at your job, your relationships, your daily routines, the very life you built, and a quiet, persistent question echoes in your mind. Is this it? Is this really me? Everything is functioning, yet nothing feels truly alive. There is a map in your hands, but you can't find your own soul on it. If this feeling resonates with you, listen closely. What if I told you that this state of confusion is not a sign that you are broken, but a sign that you are finally waking up? What if this feeling is not a curse, but a calling to burn the false maps you were given, and to finally learn the art of navigating from within? This is not a guide to find a new destination. This is a guide to build your own internal compass. This is the Shaolin Map for your true journey. From the day you are born, society hands you a map. It is a very clear map, with a bold, straight line drawn on it. The line passes through several checkpoints, like stations on a train track. Go to school, get the good grades, choose the right career, get the promotion, find the partner, buy the house. The line leads to a big, shining star on the edge of the map, a place called happiness or success. And for years, you follow this map diligently. You walk the line. You believe that if you just follow the steps, you will eventually arrive. And then, the feeling of being lost will vanish forever. But one day, something happened. Maybe you reach one of the destinations, the job, the relationship, and you discover the treasure chest is empty. Or maybe an unexpected storm erases the path entirely. And in that space, the silence rushes. You look at the useless map in your hands and realize the truth. The map was a lie. There is no single, final destination that will fix you. That is the moment you start to feel lost. But this problem is now amplified 1,000 times over by the world we live in. We are no longer dealing with just one societal map. We are haunted by thousands of them every single day. I call this the trap of comparison. Every time you open your phone, you are looking at the maps of other people's lives. But you are not seeing the real maps. You are not seeing the swamps, the wrong turns, the moments of despair in the fog. You are seeing a photoshopped highlight reel, a ghost map. You see the picture from the summit, but you never see the grueling, uncertain climb. You see the happy family photo, but not the difficult conversation that happened an hour before. You are trying to navigate your real, complex, and messy territory using thousands of conflicting, idealized ghost maps. It is an impossible task, an algorithm for misery. It is designed to make you feel perpetually behind, perpetually on the wrong path, perpetually lost. So let's be clear. The feeling of being lost is not a personal failure. It is a natural response to navigating with false maps. In fact, it is a sign of health. It is a sign that your soul is rejecting the illusion. It is your inner guidance system trying to get your attention, screaming that the direction you are heading is not your own. This feeling is the breakdown of the external so that the internal can finally be heard. It is a diagnosis of readiness. You are ready to stop being a tourist in your own life, following someone else's itinerary. You are ready to become an explorer. An explorer does not fear the unknown. They are drawn to it. An explorer does not need to see the entire path from the beginning. An explorer needs only one thing to navigate the densest fog and the darkest night. A reliable compass that always points north. And that is the next stop on our map. Learning how to build that compass, not from external ideas, but from the unshakable truth of your own inner world. You have arrived at a powerful realization. The feeling of being lost is not a sign of failure, but a declaration of freedom. The old maps are useless. You are now an explorer. But an explorer standing in a vast, foggy landscape without a compass is just a wanderer, destined to walk in circles, mistaking movement for progress. You need a tool for navigation, not a map that shows you the destination, but a compass that shows you the direction. This brings us to the heart of the Shaolin Map, your true north, your inner compass. Your compass is not a technology, not a person, not a goal you can achieve. Your compass is a feeling. It is the quiet, solid, unmistakable feeling of alignment that comes from living in accordance with your core values. Now, it is crucial to understand what a value is in this context. A value is not a goal. A goal is a destination you can arrive at. Get the promotion, buy the house. A value is a direction you can always walk in, pursuing excellence, creating a loving home. Goals can be completed, and once they are, they often leave a void, which is why people can feel so lost after achieving what they thought they wanted. Values, however, are a constant practice. They are a way of being that is available to you in every single moment, regardless of your circumstances. The reason you feel lost is that for most of your life, you have been navigating with a borrowed compass. You inherited the values of your parents, absorbed the values of your culture, adopted the values of your profession. You were told that security is north, or achievement is north, or being liked is north, and you walked in those directions. But if your soul's true north is actually freedom, or integrity, or growth, then every step you took, no matter how successful it looked on the outside, was a step away from yourself. The feeling of being lost is the tension between the direction you are walking and the direction your soul is pointing. So, how do we find your authentic north? Not the one you think you should have, but the one you do have. I invite you to do this exercise with me now. Find a quiet space. Close your eyes. Take one deep breath in and let it go. First, we will look at your moments of light. I want you to remember a time in your life when you felt truly alive, engaged, and proud. A peak experience. It does not have to be a grand public achievement. It could be a quiet conversation where you spoke your truth with courage. A difficult project you completed with discipline. A moment you helped someone with true compassion. Go back to that moment. Feel it in your body. What were you doing? What qualities were you embodying? Now, ask yourself, what values were you honoring in that moment? Write down the words that come to mind. Was it courage, connection, creativity, integrity, discipline, growth, freedom? Don't overthink it. Just write the words that resonate with that peak moment. Now, for the second part, we will look at your moments of darkness, for they are equally powerful teachers. I want you to remember a time you felt profound frustration, anger, or despair, a time your soul was in protest, a moment where you thought, this is not right, this is not me. Maybe it was a job where you felt your spirit was being crushed, a relationship where trust was broken, a time you acted against your own better judgment. Go back to that moment, feel the friction, the dissonance, without judgment. Now, ask a different question. What core value was being violated or ignored in that situation? Your pain is your compass screaming that you are walking south. If you felt rage when you were lied to, perhaps your core value is truth. If you felt suffocated in a controlling environment, perhaps your core value is freedom. If you felt deep loneliness in a superficial crowd, perhaps your core value is connection. Look at your moments of greatest pain and identify the value that was being trampled upon. Write those words down as well. Now, open your eyes. Look at the two lists you have created. You will see a pattern. Certain words will feel heavier, more essential than others. Your next task is to distill this list to its absolute core. You cannot navigate with 10 different norths. You need the vital few. Look at your list, and now we will apply the pressure test. This will separate the nice-to-have values from your non-negotiables. Take one of your top values, for example, integrity. Now imagine a scenario where acting with integrity will cost you something. It could cost you a promotion, a friendship, or a sum of money. Do you still choose this? Does the thought of betraying it feel worse than the negative consequence? Imagine you are offered a life of perfect comfort and security, but you will never learn anything new again. You will stay exactly as you are, forever. Can you accept that? Or does your soul rebel at the thought of stagnation? Your core values are not what you do when it's easy. They are the principles you refuse to compromise on when it's hard. They are what you are willing to pay a price for. Choose the 2 or 3 values that pass this test. The ones that feel like oxygen. Write them down. This is it. This is not just a list of words. This is your compass. It is the constitution of your inner world, the foundation of your decision-making. From this moment forward, the way you navigate changes. When you face a choice, the question is no longer what should I do, or what is the smart thing to do. The question is now simple, and it comes from within. The question is now simple, and it comes from within. You are in motion, but as you begin to walk, you notice something unsettling. The fog has not yet lifted. You can see the ground beneath your feet, but you cannot see the horizon. You do not know what lies 10 steps ahead, let alone 10 miles. The old craving for a predictable map, for the certainty of a destination, returns. This is the final test for the explorer. Now you must learn the final art. The most subtle and profound skill of all. How to walk with confidence without needing to see the destination. The ego mind despises uncertainty. It wants guarantees. It wants to control the outcome. It believes that peace can only be found when we know exactly where we are going and what will happen when we get there. This is the source of all anxiety. The great masters, however, understood a deeper truth. Life is not a problem to be solved. It is a journey to be experienced. The session with the destination poisons the journey. The freedom is found in the quality of the journey itself. Imagine two people hiking up a mountain in the fog. The first hiker is obsessed with the summit. He walks with his head up, constantly trying to see through the mist, straining his eyes for a glimpse of the peak. He is so focused on the destination that he trips on the roots at his feet. He misses the scent of the pine trees, the sound of the birds, the beauty of the moss on the rocks. He is never truly where he is. His entire journey is a state of anxious waiting. The second hiker is a master. She knows the direction she is heading, north, towards her values, but she is not obsessed with it. She walks with a relaxed awareness, her attention focused on the quality of each step. She feels the texture of the ground beneath her feet. She is so fully present in the how of her walking that the where becomes secondary. Because each step is taken with perfect alignment and presence, her arrival at the summit is not a struggle, but a natural, inevitable consequence of a journey well walked. This is the art of navigating the fog. You stop trying to see through it. Instead, you turn all of your attention to the quality of the present step. How do we practice this? First, you practice daily alignment. Each morning, before the noise of the world rushes in, take a moment to look at your compass, your core values. Ask yourself a simple question. How can I honor these values today in my small, simple actions? This is not about planning your whole day. It is about setting your intention, pointing your inner needle north. Second, you practice mindfulness of the step. This is the core practice of the master. Whatever your small north-facing action is, your task is to bring your full attention to it. When you are reading the page, just read the page. Don't think about the 100 other pages you have to read. When you are listening to a friend, just listen. Don't think about what you will say next. Be fully where you are. This is how you honor the journey. You honor it by showing up for it, complete. And third, you must learn to reframe the fog. The fog is not your enemy. It is a master teacher in disguise. Its greatest lesson is self-trust. It forces you to stop looking for answers and validation out there from your eyes, from the map, from the opinions of others. It forces you to start listening to the quiet, steady guidance in here. The fog is stripping away your dependency on sight so that you can finally develop your intuition, your inner knowing. It is a gift. When you live this way, something remarkable happens. The desperate need to feel found disappears. You realize that you were never truly lost in the first place. You were just disconnected from your own guidance system, trying to follow someone else's map. Let us retrace our journey. The feeling of being lost was not a curse, but a calling that shattered the illusion of a single correct path. Your values, pulled from the light of your peaks and the darkness of your valleys, became the needle of your compass, your true north. Your small intentional actions became the footprints of your new path, creating momentum out of stillness. And your trust in the journey, your willingness to walk with presence in the fog, became your freedom. You are not lost. You have finally found your own way. And you realize the point of the journey was never to arrive. The point was always to learn how to walk. And so, the fog is still out there, but now you have a compass. You are no longer lost. You are just exploring. Your real journey begins with the next small north-facing step you take after this video ends. Honestly, my favorite part of sharing these ideas is picturing thousands of tiny sparks of intention lighting up all over the world at the same time. This little space below the video sometimes becomes a place to see some of those sparks flare up. A single word, a value, an intention that someone decides to carry into their day. It's just a cool reminder that none of us are really walking alone in the fog. Whatever your first step is, walk it well.